Menzies and welcome back to my channel. We are here at the one and the only Cadwell Park. We're here for an MSV track day, which means that we're going to have 7 sessions that we're going to be out on 20 minutes a session. Okay, so we're going to guide you around a lap of Cadwell Park and just basically talk you through corner by corner and show you what everything's about. Look at this, we've even got a Cadwell Park van that's going the wrong way through Cadwell Park. So let's talk to you about what we'd normally see. We'd normally be coming out of that corner and heading down here, zooming down. This is one of the longest straights, and basically we'd be coming past the start finish and we've been zooming down underneath that bridge. Now we're going to take you down to that first corner, talk about where the tip-in is and what you should be doing, and guide you around the rest of the track. Okay, so we've made it down to the end of the straight. As you can see, big long straight behind us. We would have zoomed down here. We would have got to where that change of tarmac is. I would say somewhere around that change of tarmac, you're going to roll off, drop a gear, stabilise the front. And as we stabilise the front, we're then coming in and we're heading into this first corner. Now, as you can see, you've got a road here that is on the right hand side. What you're looking for as the tip-in point is basically the edge of that road, the one that's closest to us, and then we'll swing it round to the left and basically head towards the apex on the rumble strip that's around the corner. Okay, so once we've then gone from over here, we're then coming up, we're looking for the apex, which is actually where that post is in the ground. Now that post won't be there tomorrow for the track day because it's a motorbike track day and we'll be leaning over the apex. That's exactly where it is. And then basically we're heading up over there and looking for basically looking for the right hand side of the track and sweeping around there. So we've come from the apex, we're going to keep over to the left hand side, we're going to zoom up here, keeping to the left hand side, and we want to stay over to the left so that we've got a really nice line banking into that right hand side. Okay, so we've zoomed up our hill, we've powered on, we've been zooming up, and now we're looking for our tip-in point, and this lovely little green drain really stands out quite prominently as you're coming up the track, and basically that's your tip-in point heading over for the right hand bend, where you then aim for the apex, and we're going to head over to that apex now. Okay, so we've come past the apex. Now we've come past the apex, you can see my 3 mates up ahead. We're sweeping out to the left hand side where the guy on the left is, and as we head out left, and we're going to have a little bit of a breather before we get to what's called Charlie's 2. What we're normally going to do is drop down a gear so we've got enough power to zoom off down the hill, and it'll give us the drive out of the corner. Okay, so now we've made it out of Charlie's 1, we're heading towards Charlie's 2. At this point we're dropping a gear, we're taking a little breather before we're tipping in again, and then we're heading towards my mates, currently stood on the left hand side, and basically we're going to try and get ready for tipping into the right hand and then powering off down that straight. So let's just quickly show you that. So actually what we want to do here, we want to kind of follow the bend a little bit before we start our main tip-in, and actually as we head around this corner, what we want to be doing is really lining up somewhere about here, that we're then going to start heading for the apex being over there and looking for the red and white rumble strip, and then we're going to basically get a lovely angle and really focus in on that apex, being very careful to give ourselves speed and pace on the exit so we can make sure we've got a great drive going down the hill and staying off the rumble strip on the left hand side. So we've made it out to this rumble strip, and as you can see we've got this huge great straight. It's a roller coaster of a straight in front of us. So really what we're trying to do as we come down here is we're trying to give ourselves as much room as we can, swinging out to the left as we've been powering on from that apex that's now behind us, that's up here. But as we come down this one, we've got a zigzag going right and then left as we come up. Generally as a rule it's a pretty good idea to stay to the right hand side because you get a nice bit of overtakes done as you're powering down this straight, and then move over to the left at the top of the hill on the other side. Okay, so we've now made it up to the top of the hill. Interestingly, we can see the remains of the number 3 board, so that's worthwhile finding out about because we need to know, because that's kind of my braking marker, to be honest. We've then got a number 2, a number 1 and a turn-in point, so idea is stay left. Sometimes you can get a really nice overtake here done on the brakes. You might want to be right and then slow down a little bit more for you to peel into the right, but generally you're hanging left braking hard, changing down a couple of gears and then banging it into the right hand side. Okay, so we're now coming down and heading into this corner. As you can see, we've got the corner sign here, which is actually really handy because that's kind of your tipping point. And then over there on the right hand side, what you can see is a post. Now that post normally won't be there for bike track days, it'll be out the way, but that's also your apex point. So as we're over here on the left hand side, we're coming past this lovely sign. We're then going to be coming off the brakes, probably a little bit of trail braking, and then basically tipping in and heading over for where that post is, trying to make sure that we don't actually turn in too early, because we need to make sure that once we've turned in, we've got a nice line for that exit. We've got loads of space and quite a nice rumble strip on the outside, so that we've got a nice short straight that we can blip up to before the next corner. So we want to make sure that we've got a nice ride through and no problem on powering out of the corner. As you can see, we've got another right hand bend coming up. So what we're going to do is stay on the left hand side. This is actually a really long right hand bend. It goes all the way around, takes you right the way around there. So we're going to again leave it because you can have a nice late tip in here. You want to be building up on what you're basically doing from a point of view of your speed. You can have a bit of throttle going and then roll off the throttle slightly, no brakes, just so that you can stabilise the front and then tip in round to the right hand side. Okay, so we're now onto this long right bend, bit of a bank on it, but just sweeps around and round right. So it's about rolling on the throttle as much as you dare, cranked over, leaning over the grass on the right hand side here, as your bike's sweeping out to the left. Okay, so we've gone around the really long bend. We've been powering down here. We're now swept out to the left hand side here, ready for our turn in. We're looking here, we've got a bit of a change of tarmac that's on the floor, which gives us a little idea that we've now got to actually do the tip in. So we're going to try and stay as left as we can without going on the grass. And over here, what we can then see is there is this this little post that's currently in place, which won't be there tomorrow when we're coming around, but that's actually your apex that you need to aim for. And we're going to do a flip-flop, so we're going to zoom in to the right and then get ready to come back for the left. So we are now here at the gooseneck. We've made it past the first apex. As you've been cranked over to the right, this is where you're now basically going to roll off all of the gas, and you're basically going to roll through this section being ready to go on the power. You're going to line yourself up. You basically have a left tip in, so you're going to lock in with your right leg. So it's a bit of a swap over from where you've just been. And again, what we want to do is head down by where that second post is. So we've got a late apex here to drive us down the hill. Okay, so we've made it around, we've come out far right hand side, we're here ready to go, and we're going to give it a blip down the hill. Now this is quite a steep hill coming down, so you're going to speed up really quite quickly, and the bit that you're looking for is a change of tarmac at the bottom of the hill that basically tells you where you need to brake. Okay, so at this point we are blatting down this hill, we are stonking down, we're trying to overtake everybody that's going, I'm scared, and braking early. And what we're actually going to do is basically look for this lovely line of tarmac. Now actually this line here is where you are starting to brake. So where the tarmac changes here, dive on the brakes. What you're going to do is also change down a gear, so we're ready for the whole next section. So we're ready to go, and you're going to get ready for your tipping point at the bottom of the hill. Okay, so we've now made it to the bottom of the hill. There's a little square piece of tarmac that is in the middle that kind of gives you a bit of your guide. So we're basically over here on the right hand side, we're waiting for that little diamond or that little square of tarmac to basically be gone, and we're then going to start our turning from here. This is going to be a real proper crank it over, knee down. Normally actually smile for the photographer who's normally behind this barrier over here, so he gets a nice photo of you. And you've got the post there that obviously won't be there for a bike track day. So the key one here, this is is actually a really key corner. We want to basically head over. The apex here is this red bit of a rumble strip that's on the left hand side, and then what you're going to do is, and this is absolutely key, made up with so many seconds here, is you're actually going to start powering on as you come out of this corner, and what you're going to do is you're going to drift out to the right hand side, and you're looking for the end of the rumble strip. So you see the rumble strip here, your exit marker is the end of the rumble strip, so you want to be really swinging out using all of the track, coming out wide to the right. And then once you've come out to the right, once you've come out to the right with this lovely wide angle, what you're then going to do is you're basically going to sweep in back left again in the readiness for the chicane, which interestingly looks like they don't have it configured for a chicane at the moment. So yeah, we'll walk you around what it should be. Okie dokie, so we've zoomed down. You see this lovely tarmac change coming up here. So tarmac change is now our tipping point. So really interesting as we come down here, we're going to basically be ready for coming out of the chicane. So probably a gear change somewhere around here. And then at this point, what we're going to do is wait and wait and wait and wait. Now what we want is a line in for this chicane that's going to basically give us a bit of a straight line. So we're probably not going to tip into about here. And then at this point, we can straight line the two chicanes, so that as we straight line through this, what we're actually doing is we've got a little bit of a rumble strip here which is on the straight line, which again we're on a straight line. If anything, we're going to actually come out a little bit right here, because what we're doing is sacrificing that way in a little bit, so it helps us on the way out. And by the time we've actually got to here, somewhere around here, we're already going to start being on the throttle. We're already going to start pick the bike up, start bringing it round, and we want to be right out to the right hand side, aiming for where that cone currently is on the right hand side over there. So that brings us out, and then actually this straight, you'd be quite surprised as you power on the straight and go down here, we'll probably come up and be nudging, I don't know, somewhere near 100 miles an hour maybe. But yeah, a really cool important straight that leads us into the mountain. So okay, so we've zoomed down our lovely little bit of a straight. We're then coming up to the bottom of the mountain, and we've got some tipping points to come and do. So first thing that we're going to do is we're going to look for this road that's on the right hand side, and the beginning of this road is basically our turning point. So the moment we get to this edge here, this is where we're going to tip into the left, and as we can see, they've very kindly left some posts out for us so that I can tell you where you need to go. Now this is very uphill. We're going to swing into the left, probably not really trying to touch too much brakes, normally dropping a gear before you've actually got here, maybe not, depending if you're topping out and then coming down the gear range again. But what you're going to do is pretty much roll around this corner, but be ready to be on the gas, because look how steep this corner is. This is where you need to get your climbing ropes to basically make it up the hill, and you're going to come around to the left. Basically you want to be leant over the side of the bike as far left as you can as you basically come up. If you're obviously exiting the circuit, this is where you go into the pits, but for what we're interested in here, what we're basically going to do is stay round to the left as much as we can, hug the left, hug the left, hug the left, and here we have the mountain that is coming. So what we're going to basically do is keep going left, keep going left, keep going left, and then leave it as late as we can, and then we're going to tip into the right, aim for that apex, make sure you don't bang your knee on the big rumble strip that's on the right, and then we're going to power up. And basically what we want to try and do is power up and stay to the left hand side going up the mountain. Now again, depends if you're a wheelie monster or not. Personally I'm not, so I'll roll it at the end of the hill, but I would have disconnected from the climbing ropes at this point to make it up the hill. So we've made it over the mountain. Now time to blat it down and basically try and get as much speed as we can before we get to the wonderful complex. So we're going to hang out to the left. We're going to be careful of people that might be coming out of the pit. As you may be able to see up there, we've got someone coming out on a push bike. Hopefully we won't hit them on the actual track day. We're going to keep to the left and go and basically zoom down, ready to peel in on that right hand side. Okie dokie, so we've now zoomed down. Here is the pit exit coming out where people would normally join. At this point we're actually going to be zooming along here really nicely, and we're going to get ready for this complex. Now the thing is, we've got a complex of corners where we need to be really careful, and somewhere around here, somewhere around your pit exit, you manage to see pretty much a straight line that is coming in. So at this point you're going to try and straight line the corner, maybe steering a little bit to the right so it gives you some assistance for getting through the left, but you're going to crank over carrying as much speed as you can. And this is going to be a mix of rolling through little dabs of throttle just to give you a little bit more, keep you kind of carrying the speed as you come through here. Come out to the right slightly, so you've then got a nice tip in for coming back to the left. Okay, so we've now made it through the first corner. We're heading to the second corner of the complex, and we're now looking for that straight line that's going to lead us up to the next corner. We're going to be on the gas, power, 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 to give us a nice little blast to help us up this hill, because we've got a bit of a hill here, and this will guide us through to the next section of the track. So at this point we can see where the apex is. We're just staying on the black stuff, don't want to go over the rumble strip, and literally straight lining it up here to that rumble strip so that we go over the hill and down the other side. Okie dokie, so we've come over that next brow of the hill, and as you can see we've got a couple of posts here on the left, and basically at this point we're going to hang as much left as we can. Now this is going to be a braking section. You're not on the power here because you've got a really sharp right hand bend coming up, and personally for me I tend to turn in really late so I can get the apex and drive down the next part of the straight, so I want to be staying as much left as I possibly can. Be aware though, there's a lot of people that don't do that and they actually dive up the inside, pretty much sacrificing this apex to do an overtake. So kind of personal preference really, but for me what I'm trying to do is try and see if I can get not so much an overtake here, but I'm more trying to see if I can get a nice line so that I can build speed onto the next straight. So I'm going to be braking and staying as far left here as I possibly can, leaving it really late before I get into the apex. And then what I'm looking to do is I'm going to be looking over on the right hand side to choose my turning point. Normally there's a couple of bits here where you get some cones on the actual day that will try and help you, but actually what we're going to do now is look for this apex over here. We want to leave it really late here, maybe even get as close down to this green stuff as we can, and then here we go, we're tipping in, heading over through this apex. You're almost picking the bike up straight away, because actually this apex is almost a straight line, and we're going to be riding right over to the end of that rumble strip on the left hand side, where we can get the power on and try and get some decent power down before we've got to tip into the right hand side, which will bring us back onto the start finish straight. Okay, so we're down at this corner. This one's a bit of a weird corner really, because it's such a long right hand bend. There's not a real great way of getting around this bend, I've got to be honest. For me there isn't anyway. So you're going to kind of leave it a little bit late on the left. You're then going to turn in, and what you're basically doing is you're hugging this corner because it's a little bit weird and a little bit cambered, so you've got to hug it round right, hug it round right, hug it round right. It seems like it's taking forever, and you then run out of rumble strip, and quite frankly once you run out of rumble strip, that's kind of when you know that you're on the gas and you're lifting your bike up. You can't actually see the straight yet, but you know it's coming, and you can see that orange marker that's kind of over there. So basically you want to try and get on, be looking for that orange marker as your exit point, really pick the bike up now, get on that power, straighten things up, and there you are, you're on the long straight, and that will bring us back down to where we started. But yeah, really from here you've got a downhill section, you're going to build speed really quickly, you're banging up that box as quickly as you possibly can, maxing out your speed to drive you down this straight, and that is a lap of Cadwell Park. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please remember to not only like the video but also hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos like this in the future. Thanks again for watching, and see you again soon.